imagine that this was third world country only when I was young? In Latin America, more than 50 million people live in absolute poverty with less than $3 per day to spend. Although this number is much smaller than, say, 30, 40 years ago, poverty continues to be one of the region's main challenges. What prevents Latin America to follow the example of Asia? According to the World Bank, Latin America is the most unequal region in the world. Inequalities occur when resources are distributed unevenly. And Latin America trumps the rest of the world when it comes to income inequality. The richest decile of the population earns 48% of the total income, while the poorest 10% earn only 1.6%. Unequal distribution of income and wealth leads to unequal distribution of opportunities. And people that live in poverty don't have the same access to education, information, justice systems, credit, healthcare. If your parents are deprived of this, chance is that their poverty will be transmitted to the next generation. It's a vicious cycle. To break the vicious cycle, the inequality needs to be reduced. How can we give the Latin America youth more equal chances? Whatever the public and the private sector have done over the past 10 years, it didn't really improve the situation. There is an upcoming belief that technology is the best answer to fight inequality. Technology is already making knowledge, education, and medical advice accessible for virtually everybody in the planet. And the possibilities of exponential technology are almost limitless. Google, Facebook, Uber, Airbnb have changed the world as we know it. And it's just the beginning. This democratization of technology will create new opportunities for the youth in Latin America. But it won't happen automatically, nor overnight. The only way to make this happen is for Latin America to stimulate new entrepreneurs with great ideas on how technology is going to solve the existing inequality. Entrepreneurs are the new economic heroes of the 21st century. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, to name a few. They are born in a post-welfare state world and blessed with the agility required to adapt to a relentlessly changing global economy. They are innovators who find novel solutions to old problems, and in this case, social problems. These entrepreneurs, they do not need much startup capital or need large organizations to make an impact. And governments around the world are starting to understand the importance of entrepreneurship to create jobs and address social problems. Hello, my name is Koert Breebaart and I'm about to do something spectacular. Tonight I'll step into a plane that will take me from Singapore to Buenos Aires. I'll live and work there for the next few weeks and as part of a social sabbatical that is sponsored by my company SAP. The moment I heard about SAP social sabbatical program, I was immediately sold. I knew this was something for me. There were three interesting characteristics. Number one, I get to help an NGO to improve people's lives. Number two, I get to work and live in a different country with a different culture and a different language, something I would take away for the rest of my life. And number three, I knew when I signed up for the SAP Social Sabbatical, I would get insights and new ideas on how I can apply SAP technology to help solve inequalities in the world.
This is the first time social sabbatical is being done in Argentina.
12 employees from around the world came to Buenos Aires to support 4 NGOs in different projects.
The great thing about the social sabbatical is that it's completely tied to the vision of SAP. Our vision is to help the world run better and improve people's lives.
Meet the beautiful people of Latin America. They live in an environment of inequalities. They face issues regarding health, education, housing, work, and basic needs. That is where social entrepreneurs are coming in. They provide solutions that impact people's lives. But in their turn, they have their own problems. Entrepreneurs are on the continuous lookout for funding. They often lack international networks. They have limited access to mentors and affordable facilities. And that, my dear friends, is where a social accelerator like Social Hub comes in. They help social entrepreneurs to scale beyond national borders and ensure the enterprise to make a long-term impact. But accelerators like Social Hub also have their problems. They need to attract and keep talent to run the acceleration programs. And to achieve that, they need private or public funding. And that is where you come in. If you have the passion and the right skills, you can make a huge impact. Together, we can make this a better world. I'm extremely excited to be here in Buenos Aires to help, to impact lives of people that live in Latin America. And if you look at the scope of work that we have set apart with Social Hub here, is about how can we make impact in the most efficient way.
What we are trying to build here in Social Hub is an accelerator for startups. This means that Social Hub would be the advisor on how to make young entrepreneurs with social impact idea make the difference here. This is an important project because it makes entrepreneurs really change and impact people's lives. And I think that if this will be successful, it can make a big difference.
I think there's a strong learning, or there's a strong thinking behind making use of technology. Since SAP is like a technology company, we are enabling the next generation that is used to use technologies, like all the millennials, in order to quicker solve problems, even social problems of the environment or of the society. Because if you look backwards in the past, it has been taken centuries to get problems solved, and now with technologies that is pretty simple, we are enabling youth to grow this and to have the problems of the next generations being solved quicker. And I think that's a strong contribution that we can make through technology as the enabler for the next generation on that.
En Latinoamérica, la tasa de desempleo que afecta a las personas con discapacidad es de casi el 80%. Esto significa que más de 30 millones de personas con discapacidad no tienen trabajo. En incluyeme.com ofrecemos una solución concreta a las empresas para que puedan cubrir sus vacantes de empleo. Soñamos con un incluyeme.com en cada país de Latinoamérica. Nos empezaron a ayudar a poder bajar esa idea a una realidad, a poder llevarlo adelante. Obtuvimos nuestro primer capital, seed capital, para poder desarrollarlo. A los 6 meses nos fuimos a Chile para expandirnos y hoy incluyeme.com tiene operaciones en 4 países, en Argentina, Chile, Perú y México, y seguramente si no hubiese estado ese comienzo con Social Lab hubiese sido muy difícil.
This truly was one of the best months in my life so far. My job is done. I'm signing off. Hasta la vista.